All right, y'all. This is about a nosy neighbor, just like me, of course.
A small detail, but sometimes the most significant clues are the ones we least expect.
Hey, Walt, how are you?
As ever.
Worry as ever?
Yeah.
We had, not bad. We've had better days in St. Joe Township.
I guess.
We've had a shooting over there, and Frank said you saw a vehicle parked over here?
You parked right in Brown's driveway, backed in.
Okay.
The reason I know all this, I was in my bedroom watching TV and I had the shades open.
Uh-huh.
I can see everything that goes on.
Yeah, tell us.
He got out of it. Well, first of all,
About what time was this?
9:30, 10.
We need
Okay.
neighbors like
Right.
you.
Anyway, first time he was there, then he left, come back about 15, 20 minutes later. But when he come back, I bet money on it. He was doing 50 miles an hour going up,
50?
at least. And he turned around up there and come back, turned his lights
He
off,
know too.
backed into the
He
driveway,
was going 50
went
miles
there
an
for a while.
hour.
He knew I was watching,
Hmm.
I think. But anyway, he stepped out of his car, got back in. A couple of seconds later, he got out again completely and started walking.
Mm.
And I watched him. He went and turned left.
Okay.
And I just add two and two together. He has something to do with it.
Okay. Did you hear anything?
When I was in bed, yeah,
Okay. What'd you hear?
gunshots.
Okay. Then after that,
You know, man,
did
knew
you see
something was gonna
anything?
pop out.
No, I was in. I gotta say, I was in bed. And I heard it woke me up.
Okay.
And
So,
I'm deaf in my left ear.
Yeah,
The car
we
was
heard them
described as a
gunshots,
dark
though.
sedan, one the neighbor had never seen before. The neighbor also described seeing a man approximately 5'9" getting out of the car and walking toward the house. This mysterious figure had no business in the neighborhood, but his presence would soon be linked to a deadly plot. Then, by January 2nd, 2019, the investigation into Tyrone Hassel III's murder was beginning to take shape. The autopsy report revealed the brutality of the attack. Tyrone had been shot twice in the head, once in the neck, and once in the shoulder. A
Dang.
bullet was recovered from his right arm, evidence that would later prove critical. 11 days after Tyrone's murder, on January the 11th, 2019, police received an anonymous tip. This wasn't just a revelation. It was the beginning of a shocking connection no one saw coming. A woman called the police with a bold claim. She suggested the focus should be on Kimia, not Tyrone. The caller alleged that Kimia might have been involved in a love triangle with another man who was later identified as 24-year-old Jeremy Kular and hinted that he could be responsible for Tyrone's murder.
Uh-oh.
All three, Tyrone, Kimia, and Jeremy, had been stationed at the same military base, first in Korea, then in Georgia, where they were assigned to the 1st Armored Brigade Combat Team, 3rd Infantry Division, at Fort Stewart. A day later, the pieces began to fall into place. On January 12, 2019, Special Agent Joseph Thompson from the Fort Stewart military base in Georgia contacted St. Joseph Police. He shared startling information. 2 individuals at the base had approached him, claiming that Jeremy was openly discussing Tyrone's death.
Then you said you were hanging out with Quay yesterday. So how often you hang out with Quay?
So we got back to the States, not as much. We were in Korea, so everybody was like right there. It was like every day.
So when y'all would hang out, what would y'all typically do?
Like talk and drink and just chill out at home.
So any relationships between any of those people in that group going on?
I mean, in Korea, I knew Quay and Hassel messed around, and that was it.
All right. Tell me what you know about that.
I seen them together, messed around, and then it was like, everybody had their own little battle in Korea.
So when you say messing around, what are you getting at?
Battle
Because
group.
obviously everybody's got different.
Oh,
That's what they call them.
They were involved like that.
We are the Skaggs family, Matthew and Cosette, and we are owners of Jellyfish.
Can I get some food? Because, she was females already cooked. And she was like, you can get some. And I see him in the bed. And I was like, oh, really? Like, yeah, keep it on the DL. And I was like, all right, it's not my business. Yeah. Left that.
Investigators soon uncovered a shocking timeline. Jeremy Kular had traveled from Georgia to Tyrone's hometown just 3 or 4 days before the murder. This revelation wasn't just suspicious, it was explosive. The investigation took a sharp turn when Jeremy Kular's cell phone records placed him in Benton Harbor during the time of Tyrone's murder. With this new evidence, detectives called Kimia Hassel in for questioning. She was given little indication of the true reason behind the visit. When Kimia arrived at the station, she handed over her phone for investigators to search.
Did you ever think about doing anything to your husband? Did it ever cross your mind, even in the darkest times or like that? Did you ever do anything? He's not mistreating you. He's not out running around. He's not.
Because he never did anything to me that would make me feel like I didn't want to be with him anymore. And that's another thing that I was saying. Like, you know, it wouldn't have to be anything like this. Like, I didn't want to be with him. We could just get a divorce.
Benton Harbor is
we got the kids too.
Exactly.
The kids need to be with mom. That's huge.
Yeah, and that's what I've always wanted. I've always wanted a family. I never, and that's the father of my child. That's what I want to do. I got his initials tattooed on me before we even official boyfriend and girlfriend.
They'll take all that stuff out. There's nothing in your phone that's gonna do anything bad.
They have my phone right now.
Okay. No, I'm just saying there's nothing bad in there. Okay.
No. This is the second time having my phone.
Okay. What kind of person do you think would be involved?
We don't find
Let me do it this way. We'll make it. Did you participate in that man's death that night?
No.
She wasn't anything where you planned prior. When you talked, you never made a plan, never planned it. Okay.
No plan.
This time, they focused on one particular detail, her communication with Jeremy. What they found raised more red flags.
Jeremy, what kind of a guy is he?
The type of person that he is, he's like a firecracker. Like I told the police, he's a firecracker. Like the smallest thing can set him off. And no matter what it is, he'll be mad all day about it. So when we were in Korea, I can't really pinpoint exactly when it was. Me and Ty had this big argument. And then, I came back into building and I was talking to Jeremy. I'm like, man, I don't want to deal with him no more. Like, I'm tired of shit, I don't want to deal with it no more. And he was like, so why y'all still together? And I was like, we have a child. And even if I talked to him about divorce, he probably wouldn't even, do it with me. And he was like, I can handle that. And I was like, what do you mean by that? He was like, I can handle it. Like, shit, when I get back, I get a gun, blah, blah, blah. But I never took him serious about it. I never thought that he would.
Kimia claims she didn't take his words seriously at first, but her actions told a different story.
That night, he said that he was in Michigan. He said that he was waiting for him. When he was saying that he was waiting for him, I'm like, no, he's not at the house. I don't really know where he is, but he's not at the house. I told him, I said, he's going to be coming back soon. He came back to the house, nothing happened.
You called him back to this? So was that
when he went to Walmart.
When he went to Walmart, okay.
Yeah. I said, he's going to be coming back. I said, he just left, he's going to be coming back soon. He came back from Walmart, nothing happened. Nothing happened when he left, and nothing happened when he came back. So from there, I was just like, okay, this is not going to happen. So when he told us about the food, he was saying that he was going to get the food, and then, wondering where the food is, and I was going to say, never mind.
Girl, you lying.
And then I just said, then I was like, okay, well, you're going to bring the food anyways, just bring it. And then he was out there, and he was watching the house the whole time.
He knew he was there. Where was he? Where was he hiding at? Where did you have him at?
Yeah, you knew he was there.
He was somewhere about the house, but I don't know exactly because I never told him hi right here because I don't really know the area. He was out there days before, like figuring out where he was going to be.
She eventually confessed to communicating with her secret lover, Jeremy Kular, over Snapchat, a platform she initially denied using, knowing the messages would disappear. So far, Kimia had been explaining to detectives what happened, but what they heard next truly made them question the woman they'd seen at the crime scene, sobbing uncontrollably.
That all of that was going to happen.
Mm-hmm. But why wouldn't you just divorce him?
I talked to him about it, and he didn't want to.
No, you called him back. You were in the plan. Why didn't you call the plan off? He was leaving that night. Why didn't you call the plan off? Say, I'll just divorce him. Was it because he had some good money to start out for your kid?
Not even just the money. It's
not even just the money, or was it? I mean, is the money part of it?
The money is part of it, yes.
Okay.
But main reason being is because I just felt like if I would have called it off, like Jeremy probably would have been upset at the fact that I called it off, and I didn't want him mad at me.
Okay, but you understand though, calling it
Girl.
off would have saved your husband's life. You could have divorced him. Was Ty a bad man?
Not bad enough for this.
But you know,
Stupid.
you put your needs and your wants above somebody's life.
I did.
$400,000 is not what Ty is.
That's all.
You felt it was before. Would you say that's a fair statement?
Yeah.
I'm about to cash a $50,000 check
Crazy.
for an accident.
Locations and discussed possible scenarios to kill Tyrone. And perhaps more painfully, she admitted she stayed silent because she craved the love and attention she felt Tyrone wasn't giving her. Kimia detailed her role in the plot with unsettling clarity. Each text she sent sealed Tyrone's fate. She was about to reveal her deepest betrayal. The plan was executed, and Kimia's texts guided Jeremy to the exact moment and place where Tyrone would be vulnerable. At the same time, the Army
Girl,
Criminal
you know
Investigation
you gonna
Division
get
in
caught.
Georgia brought Jeremy in for questioning regarding his involvement in Tyrone's death.
You've probably seen or heard on TV shows, you have a right to remain silent, you have a right, to an attorney, those types of things. And at this point in time, do you wish to have a lawyer? Okay. So down the bottom portion, there's a non-waiver section for those that wish to have a lawyer.
However, Jeremy wisely chose to exercise his right to remain silent, leading to the conclusion of the interview. Although Jeremy remained silent during interrogation and immediately requested a lawyer, detectives had gathered enough evidence to make their move. The neighbor's account of a suspicious dark sedan near the crime scene, Kimia's detailed confession, and the tip from Special Agent Josh Thompson about Jeremy discussing Tyrone's murder all pointed to a premeditated crime. Jeremy's phone
Goddamn,
records
baby.
placed him in Benton Harbor during the murder, and Kimia's messages to him revealed her role in planning the plot. With this evidence, both Kimia Hassel and Jeremy Cuellar were arrested for murder and conspiracy to commit murder. Jeremy was held on $2.5 million bond, while Kimia remained in custody as detectives worked to uncover the full scope of the plot. Then, during a recorded jailhouse call with her mother, Kimia revealed a chilling truth about her dark motive. She admitted the motive was to clear the way for her relationship with Jeremy.
So, Samaya, when did all this come about?
It was planned in Korea. I got myself mixed up in something I didn't think would be like this. Pretty
I
much.
can't hear you.
We planned it.
Y'all planned it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Samaya, I don't believe that. Is somebody making you say that?
Somebody made me plan it. He was forcing me, and I don't know.
Who was forcing you, Samaya?
His name is Quay.
Why was Quay forcing you?
Because he wanted to be with me so that we could be together.
As the investigation dug deeper, Kimia's search history further incriminated her. She'd looked up how to delete Snapchat messages and even searched for news articles about active duty soldier killed on New Year's Eve. They also found Snapchat evidence from Jeremy's phone, which connected him to Kimia under a different username. The St. Joseph Police Department released a press statement announcing the arrests of Kimia Hassel and Jeremy Cuellar in the murder of Tyrone Hassel III. By January 22, 2019, exactly 22 days after Tyrone's murder, investigators reached out to Jeremy Cuellar's wife, who was living apart from him. She revealed that
He
while
was
she couldn't
married.
believe Jeremy was capable of such a crime, she'd been with him briefly on New Year's Eve around 2 p.m. to sign divorce papers. Afterward, she had no idea where he went. This alibi crumbled when evidence pointed elsewhere. Jeremy had made calls to friends while in jail, expressing thoughts, and by February 3rd, he was transferred to Michigan from Georgia. Investigators pieced together a trail of damning evidence. A pair of tan boots found in Jeremy's possession matched footprints at the crime scene, and his black car matched the description of the vehicle witnesses had seen that night.
Jeremy Cuellar is directly, no question about it, responsible
Oh yeah,
for
he's
Tyrone
gonna
Hassel's death.
hang for that.
But
But
just because he's responsible does not mean Kimia Hassel's involved.
yes, they
This
do.
is Mr. Cuellar's plan. This is his idea.
By May
Probably
2019,
true.
DNA swabs were taken from both Jeremy and Kimia as the investigation uncovered more shocking details. It was revealed that Tyrone had a $400,000 life insurance policy through the military, and Kimia was the sole beneficiary. This revelation painted a sinister motive for the crime. In August 2019, Jeremy accepted a plea deal to avoid a first-degree murder charge. He pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and was sentenced to 65 years in prison. During sentencing, Jeremy apologized to Tyrone's family, claiming he'd been manipulated by
What did
Kimia.
Kima get? Kimia, whatever her
apologize to
name
the
is.
family again. Sincerely. I was a fool for just taking her words and not really looking to see who he was. I just had issues with
who he was.
him.
As part of his plea deal, Jeremy requested a one-on-one meeting with Tyrone's father.
How you doing, sir?
I'm all right. You know, under the circumstances.
Honestly, I'm very sorry. You know, I know that is
crazy.
not even enough.
No, it's not enough.
You know, I'm gonna just tell you my side. You know, I know. Regardless,
you don't even
but
have
you
a
do deserve
side.
that.
You was silly.
And to be honest with you, it's sad, but
It really
you
is.
deserve that. I'm being real with you. Like, I'm truly sorry. I thought I loved her. You know what I'm saying? I was all over the place. You know what I'm saying? And for some reason, I thought Kamaya was like my light.
During this emotional exchange, Jeremy confessed in detail, blaming Kimia for orchestrating the murder.
Yeah.
It honestly took me like 6 times, sir. At least 6 times. I'm being completely honest with you. You know your the 2 garbage cans you have right there by your patio? I was waiting right there and he had came out. Look, I choked many times. You know what I mean? My mind was twisted. I thought I had to do that in order for me to have a family with her because I wanted kids. That's what she was like, oh, he's coming back. And I was like, you really just want me to do this? So I was like, man, I came back. And that's when it happened.
Jeremy admitted that Kimia had brought up the $400,000 life insurance policy during their affair, joking about what she could do with the money.
She knew what she was doing, man. She's a good actor, man. She's a good actor. She knew what she was doing.
You
and I was too stupid to see it. You know what I'm saying?
You said it right. You
Honestly,
said it, not me.
I could tell by the way you look, man. You want me to burn in hell, sir. And I understand that. I understand that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you do.
You know, I really hope you can forgive me. You know what I'm saying? I know it's going to take forever, or you might not. But I really hope you can.
Anyone with $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans may qualify for help from National Debt Relief. Minimum payments could literally keep you in debt.
True enough, you killed my son, but I don't think. I know I'm looking at somebody that had a twisted mind at one point. You know, seemed like a good cat. And I hate the situation had to happen, especially I hate it had to happen to my son. I'm never going. The only thing I could do is visit him in the grave. Well, man, I appreciate you talking. I appreciate your remorse. You know what I mean? But I don't know how much you know about me or how much you know about my son, but you're going to meet a lot of friends in there, bro. If they from Ben Harbor, 90% of them know us. And we very popular.
How should I take that?
I mean, I'm just telling you.
During Kimia's trial,
take it
the
as a
prosecution
threat.
portrayed her as the mastermind behind the crime. While Jeremy pulled the trigger, Kimia provided the plan, alerting him to Tyrone's movements and ensuring the murder happened at the right time. The defense tried to paint Kimia as a victim of abuse and Jeremy's obsessive control, but testimonies from soldiers and jail informants dismantled this narrative. One soldier recalled Jeremy saying, "Buddy Tyrone had to go," and an inmate revealed Jeremy confessed to killing Tyrone out of love for Kimia and a desire to be a father to her son. The jury deliberated for just an hour, finding Kimia guilty of first-degree murder and sentencing her to life without parole. Tyrone's son, now an orphan, is being raised by Kimia's family. Tyrone's father has not been allowed to see his grandson since the trial. In 2020, Jeremy attempted to withdraw his guilty plea. Kimia also petitioned for a new trial, claiming her attorney was ineffective and her confession coerced. She argued that she suffered from battered woman syndrome and was manipulated into plotting the murder. In 2022, the court upheld her conviction. Jeremy's jailhouse conversation with Tyrone's father exposes the chilling depth of this tragedy. While Jeremy's remorse may be questioned, the undeniable truth is that Tyrone, a devoted father and husband, was brutally betrayed by the one person he trusted above all. His life was stolen, not by a stranger, but by the cold and calculated actions of his own wife.
For
The
real.
real victim now is their young son, left to grow up without the embrace of either parent, a heartbreaking consequence of greed and betrayal.
That's
Before we end the video, we want to express our heartfelt condolences to Tyrone Hassel.
Well, that was pretty interesting. That was a lot. So I'm upset. I'm upset that her family got to keep the baby. Probably because of the threat that daddy gave, but still. Yeah, that was a crazy story, but tune in for more.